Hi, everyone. Good morning.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Hello. Okay. Well, welcome everyone to day two of the My Black Experience Summit. Hello. Hello, everyone. Thank you for being here. And we are so excited to have you. So let me just give a little bit of recap from yesterday. We had an incredible crowd that came from all over the continent of Africa, as well as those who have been here in the United States to be a link and to join forces, so to speak. So I'm going to just give a recap of what we're doing here. So in May, we had we have a friend that is in the UK that suggested that we connect with some folks in the in Nigeria. They are a talent hub called Kingdom Talent Arena. And so we connected, and there was definitely synergy and alignment with Fave Unite and Kingdom Talent Arena that is run by the wonderful Ikande Samuel. We decided that what we could do is to bring different talent hubs from across Africa together and to support the talent that comes from these different talent hubs with information, with support, and to even create a challenge that would provide a first, second, and third prize winnings for those that have expressed interest. And so we ran a sponsored ad in 5 different countries, thinking that we would get, maybe about 30 or 40, maybe 50 participants.
Right.
That turned into almost 300 respondents from across the continent and nearly 100 submissions of talent. So we thought it would be a great idea to bring people together and to make sure that people could see each other in all of the wonderful ways that they are expressing their talent. And then we also thought that it would be a good idea for the talent hubs and for people who are in the industry could provide inspiration, words of wisdom, and also get to know who the talent is coming from across the continent. And so we've created the My Black Experience Summit, and that is where we are right now. So I just want to give a few quick shout outs. First of all, to the person that really made this introduction. She is here. She's going to be off camera for the most part, but her name is Christina Konya. And if she can just unmute or wave her hand, I know she's really busy. If she could just say hello, that would be great.
Thank you very much, Bukeka. Hi, everyone. It's a great, great pleasure to be here with all of you today. I see so many familiar faces, so I wish best of luck to all of you. I'm really happy that this collaboration happened between Fave Unite TV and KTA. You guys are really dear to my heart, so I wish best of luck on this summit and on your future collaborations as well.
Thank you so much, Christina, really for everything. Such a great heart, great spirit. And hopefully you guys will get to know a little bit more about her. Um, Also, I want to give a shout out to our other uh, leaders in this uh, initiative and some of our partners with Fave Unite TV. I want to introduce the a shout out to our Chief Financial Officer and co-founder of Fave Unite, Mr. Eugene Blakemore. We have the same last name for a reason. He is also my husband. And we also have our Chief Content Officer, Dr. Enolia Harris Pedro, in the house. And if you heard some of her words yesterday, you're probably still just beaming from her amazing words of wisdom. We have our Chief Technical Officer on here. His name is Terry Lewis, and he is the person who makes Fave Unite work all the time, 24/7, 365. And let's see, and then also we also have our head of Kingdom Talent Arena here, Mr. Akande Samuel. So these are the folks leading the pack, everyone. And we're so grateful for this incredible experience. So just to get things started, I'm going to tell you a little bit about the people that are going to be presenting today. First of all, we have Miss Felicia Gay. I hope I'm pronouncing her last name correctly. She's one of our presenters today. We also have Mayan Boyd, who is from Kansas City. She's going to be sharing her words of wisdom as a young uh, uh, public relations specialist in the house in the world of entertainment. And back from yesterday, we have Dr. Eric Kelly, and some of you are also resharing his words of wisdom from yesterday. And we'll also have our other talent hubs here, Barbara Shea from Nakuru, Kenya, as well as uh, individuals that are coming from the My Black Experience Challenge. So thank you all so much for being here for day 2 of the My Black Experience Summit. So we're going to go ahead and get started. Oh, one other person that's going to be showing up here later. She's in California, so she's going to be in just a little bit later, but her name is Doris Douglas. She is an amazing television and film producer out of Hollywood. She's got all the inside nuggets on how to build a career in the film industry. So she'll be with us a little bit later on. So I'd like to go ahead and turn the mic over to our first speaker today, and Felicia is a motivational speaker. She is an inspirational powerhouse to women, and she is going to be sharing with us today some of her words of encouragement for those coming into the My Black Experience Challenge. And she's originally from Cameroon, and she's currently living in the States for a while. So, Felicia, thank you so much for being here, and welcome to the My Black Experience Summit.
Thank you for having me, everyone. Good morning. I count it a privilege to be a part of this great move event that the Lord has decided, to bring people together from across the globe. So I was supposed to be here yesterday, but something came up and I couldn't make it. But I'm glad I'm finally here. I know I missed out, but I do hope to follow up on the YouTube channel for, to catch up with what happened yesterday. I'm a women leader in a group called Esther's Generation. We started in 2020 in May. So we just did our 5th anniversary last month by the grace of God. So it has been a whole lot going on. I remember the day I received the vision, the Lord said to me, women are lost in, the fact that they are wives, especially where I'm coming from. There is this tradition, when you grow up, you're taught that, or when you get married, you have babies and you really don't have much to offer, right? And that alone, it kind of limited women in a lot of ways. But with the evolving world today, the Lord was telling me, he said, go get them back to me. They should understand that beside or outside of marriage, first, I created them as human beings for a purpose, for a reason. They have, a purpose to accomplish with or without marriage. And we have been running with that vision for 5 years now, with a lot of testimonies, a lot of, women coming to understand their self-worth, their self-esteem, understanding and finding their purpose, and having that confidence to forge ahead in their different areas of endeavors. And so it has been a great joy for me. And beside that, the Lord also gave another assignment to work with the youth. So when I spoke with the convener or the host of the program a few days back, I was telling her, Pastor, or the person that is in charge of Kingdom Talent Arena, he was the one that connected me, and I was so excited. We are also in partnership for a youth program that will be coming up in Cameroon next year. We are trusting God to, to partner together to also harvest those talents. And where I come in is to bring the message of hope, the message of salvation, the message of the cross. Because without Christ, we understand that you wouldn't even understand your purpose. You will not know why you are here. You will not know why you're living. It's not just about living, but existing. To exist means to create impact, to add, to something, to add positive impact to the lives of others. And as the days go by, we meet people, we encounter people for different reasons. For me, I always tell myself one of the primary reasons is, to influence someone positively. A lot is going on. People are passing through different kind of challenges, right? So you might be that voice that somebody is depending on to come out from that place of hopelessness, from that place of depression, that place where they're already almost giving up on themselves. And you might just speak just a little word and you revive somebody to bounce back. So it's going to be a great time next year. So the word of encouragement I had for this event, because I know the theme says positioning to succeed. For somebody to position himself or herself to succeed, I think it's going to be a bit difficult outside of the fact that God should be at the center of your life. I'm going to read a scripture so quickly from Joshua 1 verse 8. It said, "This book of the law shall not depart from your mouth, but you shall meditate in it day and night, that you may observe to do according to all that is written in it. For then you will make your way prosperous, and then you will have good success." You will have good success, but you also have something to do, right? You also have a part to play. You have a responsibility for you to realize the good success, for you to position yourself to succeed. Even if you have your different giftings, your talent, your skills, but there's something you need to do. First, we must understand the Lord made every one of us uniquely. We have our different callings, different purposes, different talents, different giftings, and this is all for the purpose of promoting His kingdom. And if for any reason you must succeed, God must be first in our lives. For me, it has worked for me, and I'm going to tell everybody here, maybe you haven't taken that part seriously. You haven't considered having a personal relationship with the Lord. This is time. I'm here to encourage everyone to get Him serious, or to get serious with God, because where you are is just the beginning of where He wants you to be. If you take God seriously, a lot of things will happen. Even as they have begun this great initiative, I'm also thankful that it's anchored on God. And I'm just here to say that there are a lot of greater things to come as we continue to trust Him, as we continue to depend on Him. And how do you position yourself for success? You must make sure you put God first. You must make sure you mind the people you hang around with, because there are people that will derail you from your path. I don't know if I'm taking so much time. Please just let me know if my time is up. I know I'm rounding up in a few seconds or minutes. You must make sure you understand that you are unique, right? You are not just every kind of person. You don't hang out with just everybody. You don't make everybody your friend. You spend quality time with God, because He's the one that created you. He knows the best. he has placed inside of you, and it's only in the place of intimacy with him that he will unfold his plan for your life, and he will tell you how to go about it. He will empower you to succeed. He will empower you to stand out. Amen. So I'm here to encourage everyone, know that you are not ordinary, know that you're special, know that you're great, you're phenomenal, you are awesome. It doesn't matter what the challenges surrounding your life at the moment, kind of look like a bit difficult, or you think you cannot overcome them. But if you know that truly you have a wonderful, wonderful relationship with the Lord Jesus, you will eventually overcome. Those things come at times to strengthen us. The message I want every one of us to take home: know that you are unique. And if you must sell your talent, if you must sell your company, if you must sell your business, you place God first. You observe to do what he wants you to do, and you will scale heights. You will go higher in everything. He will always cause you to stand out, because he's the only one that knows the way, because he is the way. So if we follow him, definitely we will get to our destination. Thank you for this opportunity once again. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Felicia, for those beautiful, inspiring words. That is certainly at the heart of being who you are, is to have faith, is to persevere, is to trust, and to know that our Creator put us here for a reason. And so everything that we are here to do, we know that we have the strength to do it because of the fact that we're here to fulfill that divine purpose. So thank you so much, Felicia, for reminding us of that, and very inspiring words. Thank you so much. So, and as creative people, especially, we find that living in this world where so much is about um, competition and striving to um, get that big contract or have that big prize or whatever it is. There is more to it than that. And even though this is a competition, it has its own first, second, and third prize. The What we are also knowing is that it is more than that. It is a way for us to support each other, to lift each other up, no matter what the outcome is of that. And we also know that this is an experience that's going to uh, uh, tap into individuals' need for more information, how to become uh, uh, better in what they're doing, and to increase their expertise. So it's more than a competition. It is a way for us to go inside and have and learn more about our purpose in life. So again, Felicia, thank you so much for those words. So I'd like to bring up another special person from Kansas City. Yesterday, you guys had the chance to hear one of our presenters, Gideon Madison, who participated in a workshop that we gave here in Kansas City called the Foresight Film and Music Workshop. And there were lots of outstanding participants there, and Gideon was one of them. And the other was this beautiful young woman here, Mayan Boyd. And I just want to share a little bit of information about Mayan. She is a recent graduate from college. She is now working in the area of public relations, and her passion is to make sure that the story, and we know what the story is, the misconceptions, the myths, the stereotypes that often follow uh, people of color, Black people, um, go away, that we change that narrative. And that is exactly why Faith Unite even exists. Well, that is the passion for us to have Black stories and Black storytellers that can make sure that the narrative that is being seen and heard is authentic and real. So, Mayan, thank you so much for being here today. I want you to know that we have people from all across Africa participating in this summit, from Ghana, from Cameroon, as you just heard from Felicia, from Kenya, Nigeria, South Africa. So thank you so much for being here. Mayan, tell us a little bit about yourself and what people who are watching can glean from your experience as a young creator in Kansas City.
Yes, thank you so much for having me. This is an amazing and incredible opportunity. Hello to everyone. Good afternoon or good evening, wherever you're tuning in from. And I'm again so grateful to be here. And like Miss Bukeka said, my name is Mayan, and I recently graduated from college with a degree in public relations and advertising. And yet, my passion has always been, ever since a little girl, I never felt like I saw myself on TV shows. You know, there were Black characters, but they didn't feel like me. And so that gave me a passion to see, what do stereotypes do? What does misreputation do? Not only how do we perceive ourselves through them, but how do others perceive us? And how can that shape different narratives that are harmful? And so that has been a passion of mine for a long time, and what I hope to do in the industry. And so, yeah, just that was a little bit about me. And I just wanted to come on here today to share a little bit about my creative journey so far, and also what I've gleaned from the past few years. And so yeah, just starting off, growing up, I never saw well, let me start back over, sorry. So one of the dreams that I have is becoming a screenwriter or a showrunner later on in my career, because I've always loved TV. I feel like it's fun to get involved in a story that doesn't just end after a few hours, like a movie, but movies are great. But just getting involved in the characters week after week. And so I loved growing up with TV before streaming, where you had to race in between commercials to get to the next chapter. And so that grew my passion for, maybe I want to work in TV one day. But growing up, I never saw that as a reality. I thought, that's not stable. I haven't seen anybody like me doing that. And so I just never thought that would be a reality for me one day. But I knew I loved reading and writing. I knew I loved the prospect of crafting a story from the first line to the last image, and following a character's redemptive journey. That always stood out to me. And like I said earlier, I had this passion within me to help bring about positive representations on screen, because there were little girls just like me looking up, like, what can I look out towards? And TV has such a power to do that. And so that kind of drove me to combine my love for storytelling and my passion to help others feel seen, to lean into more communication related careers. And so in high school, I began to see more people who look like me behind the screen. A lot of people in front of the screen, but I was watching Grey's Anatomy and Scandal, and seeing Shonda Rhimes had created almost a TV empire as a strong Black woman who felt like me, who felt shy, who felt introverted. And so I love seeing that. And Ava DuVernay and her power to spin a documentary about our people, and telling the stories of the exonerated five really stood out to me. And I was like, okay, maybe that is possible, but I still felt uneasy. And then I joined college, and it was like something shifted. I really loved what you said earlier, Felicia. Just our faith and our creativity does not have to be separate, and it shouldn't be separate. And I feel like during college, I felt the Lord kind of shift something in me and say, this can be possible. I never thought it could be. And so I began pursuing a degree in public relations and advertising, but other opportunities presented. I was able to join my newspaper and learn what storytelling looks like when you're telling the stories of real life people. And then I also had the opportunity to screenwrite for two student films. And then that passion began to set in. And I was like, okay, maybe this is a true possibility, a true reality. And then did that and I graduated college, but I was still unsure. I was like, can this be possible? How would it even be possible to have a career in the film industry? But I felt like the Lord was leading me in that way. And one day I got a message from a woman at church who knew I had an inkling towards film. And she said, check out this workshop. It was the Foresight Film and Music Workshop that Miss Bukeka mentioned earlier. And that was an answered prayer. I got to sit in rooms with industry professionals who had been in the industry for a while, who had been working and willing to glean their wisdom and give it to us and create a space where we could feel like people who look like us, they're working behind the scenes, they're working in front of the camera, they're doing careers I hadn't even heard of before, but I got to be in that room with that wisdom and things started to feel more attainable. And then after that, I got the chance to work on my first professional film set. And that was just an incredible thing. It was like my dreams were starting to become a true reality. And I got to be a production assistant and learn more about the lingo on film sets and each job entail. What jobs do I have to look forward to? I never heard of a script supervisor before, but knew that I had an interest, the producers and directors on set, and they carved out time for me to be able to shadow a supervisor. And so through that experience, I was able, or throughout my creative journey so far, I've been able to learn three things that I was hoping to share with you all today. And that one, that love and that passion that you have for storytelling, that you have for acting, that you have for producing or directing, or whatever creative pursuits that you have, that doesn't have to sit within you. That doesn't just have to be a dream in your mind. It can be a reality. And just by joining this, I think you all know that, and you're taking the steps to make your dreams a reality, which is so admirable and so necessary. And so that's if you holding back in any way, just know it doesn't have to sit. Just know your ideas are important, even if they may look like someone else's, or even if they don't. They have a unique spin that's unique to you, and your voice can bring it out in only the way you know you can. And so just to encourage anyone with that today, and also stewarding that love and passion is important. Taking the time to pour into your craft, learn new skills, reach out to people who have been doing this a long while, is important in stewarding what you have inside of you so it doesn't just sit, but it can blossom. And then the last thing is that you don't have to do this alone, and you're not made to do this alone. I wouldn't be where I am without people who were constantly looking out for me, who were like, I see this passion within you. Let me help you out. Through the workshop, through other people just gleaning advice, being on set, nobody was keeping that information to themselves. They were like, I see you, I see your passion. Let's walk this way. I'll show you, I'll give you advice. And so just an encouragement today is you don't have to do it alone. And then once you get to a comfortable place, don't keep that information to yourself. Be generous with it, just as others have been generous in your journey so far. And so that's all I had. Thank you so much for having me. It was so great being here and meeting you all.
Oh, Maya, thank you so, so much. I mean, I'm trying to hold back because the thing is that, what you said about you're not alone. And this is a real testament of that. And the fact that you mentioned to share it with others. That's why we are here too. And everybody on here is first of all, one of the things that you're not seeing is that there's this major chat going on WhatsApp, right? And they're all sharing information. They're all repeating some of the things that happened yesterday, so that other people don't miss it. And that's what we call community. We are a community of dedicated, creative artists, speakers, singers, film writers, those that are in film, and those that are not even in the entertainment industry, those who are supportive of people who are wanting to have a greater sense of self-worth and help people along on their journey. And so this is just really incredible. And Mayan, thank you so much for your words of encouragement. Let's give her a big shout out and and clap for because those were really amazing words. Thank you so much. And so if people would like to utilize your services as a publicist or in public relations, how should people get in touch with you?
Yes, if anyone would like to get in touch with me, I can leave my email. And is there a chat I should put it in, or I can just mention it?
Absolutely. You can put it in the chat or mention it, whichever or both.
Okay,
Absolutely.
perfect. Yes, it's LJ91402@gmail.com. And that was fast, so I'll put it in the chat as well. But thank you all so much. This has been an amazing opportunity and just amazing time this morning.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Ryan. All right. So, yes, we are so grateful for all of the amazing people that are on here today and that are willing to share their time, their talent, and their gifts with us. I'm going to ask if we can have Enolia Harris Pedro, Dr. Enolia Harris Pedro, if she
I would
would come
rather
up.
go after Dr.
Yes,
Kelly.
you'd have to go after Dr. Kelly. Okay, all right.
Oh,
We'll do the 1-2 punch like we did yesterday, right?
yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, if you were on yesterday, you heard some incredible words from Dr. Eric Kelly. And so let me reintroduce you to him for those who didn't get a chance to see him yesterday. Dr. Eric Kelly is the founder of Black Business Network and the Black Business Olympics. He's out of Durham, North Carolina, and has an amazing way of bringing people together to bring out their genius. Every month, he has the Black Business Olympics, for which speakers from all over the world are able to come onto his platform and showcase their business. And one of the things that you're going to hear when you listen to the Black Business Network on Faith Unite TV or directly on the Black Business Network is that genius is common, and we all have that genius within us. So, Dr. Eric Kelly, thank you for being with us again today, and I turn the mic over to you.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. As we begin, it looks like I'm not on stage at this moment, but shortly I should be there. But want to say good morning, first of all. Good day. You know, as we look at today's day, we have to begin to understand that there's a reason for all of us. There's a reason that we're here. There is a reason that we show up. And this morning, I wanted to talk about, first of all, I want to give credit and honor to Faith Unite TV for such a great and powerful job they did yesterday. You know, when you begin a movement, the word movement means to move. And so we're moving down the lane of being, or as I sometimes say, existing. And so we're moving down that lane today and this morning. And we want to talk about, you know, why are we here? You know, I stand before you not just as a speaker, but a witness to the power of your story, our story. Each and everyone's story is powerful. The Black experience narrative is not a single narrative. You know, many times we hear the things of I'm Black, you're Black, but is that true? The Black experience, or the experience that we have as human beings, is an experience that's detailed in our DNA of existence. The many voices that we will hear today and tomorrow, and the different visions and the different victories that we will have, will resonate not only today, but forever. And that is exactly why we are here today, to raise those voices, share those stories, and to celebrate the power of culture. And many times we get put in the box of Black culture. And I want to pull us out of the box of Black culture this morning and put us in the box of culture. You know, if you don't already know, and if you have not even thought about it, I want to welcome everybody to the Black Experience Summit. I want to really welcome you to the summit. I don't want you to just show up to the summit. I want to welcome you to it. But when we welcome people to it, it's just like coming into our house. You're coming inside to be a part of something that's bigger than you. This is not just an event. I want to make sure you understand, it's a movement. It's a homecoming of our identity, a stage for truth, and a mirror of excellence. I want to say that again. It's not just an event. It's a movement. It's a homecoming of our identity. Now think about that for a moment. What is your identity? As the young ladies have spoken before, first of all, I want to say to both of them, outstanding information, outstanding people. But what is the story? What is the real story? How do we connect? As the young lady says, she's in public relations. Reach out to her and connect. But more importantly, connect with Faith Unite TV, because Faith Unite TV is the hub for this experience. Now, about the movement. This movement, My Voice, My Story Challenge, is about reclaiming and redefining the Black narrative in our voice. You know, of course, for too long, our stories have been misrepresented, minimized, or even muted, but not today. That's not going to happen today. We're going to stand on the foundations of what we believe. This summit is led by Faith Unite and Kingdom Talent Arena, two bold organizations that understand the cultural changes that start when we own not just a mic, but we own our lives. We own our stories. We own our beliefs. This is your chance to rise up and speak, to create, to perform, to testify, so to speak, to bring to life the moments that are happening to you. When on yesterday I said, if you don't value your value, then your value is not valuable. I want you to understand that you are the value, that you are, as they say, the goal. You know, so what can you expect at this summit? Well, you can expect spoken word. You can expect performance arts. You can expect personal storytelling. You can also expect interactive challenges, workshops, and panels. But the one thing that you can always expect, and that's genius. You can always expect genius in a room of people who are touching one another with their spirits. Whether we began to talk about our religion, our sports, our gender, our diversity, it really doesn't matter as long as we talk to each other about the movement. I want you to also think about this as you're going on your day. Why did you get chosen? And I'm going to say it again, chosen to be in the room. You could have been anywhere else. The most important is collaboration and community. Collaboration and community is what it's all about. But before I press on, before I touch or move the envelope of progress, I want you to think about what is the benefits of being here today. The number one benefit is empowerment. This summit empowers us to do greater things, not just for ourselves, but for our community. Number two, a benefit is visibility. When's the last time somebody said, I see you? Visibility. You know, this platform amplifies your experience to the audience who need to hear from you. And for some of us who are entertainers, who are actors, who are singers, who are writers, who are artists, this is a benefit of healing. We're able to heal because we're able to hear other people in our backgrounds or in our backyards, in our tribe, who are doing the same things that we're doing. More importantly, another benefit is inspiration. Inspiration. When you begin to talk about inspiration, you must begin to talk about the things that you don't know that might touch you to help you or to ignite the fire in your story. When I talk about healing, which is expressing your truth can heal the listener. This is where generations and generations of legacies have evolved from. And then another benefit is legacy. I pause when I say legacy. The reason I pause when I say legacy, because every word you speak, not everything that you do, but every word that you speak is a part of a living archive. Say that again. Every word that you speak, every move that you make is a part of a living archive, which means that you're making history right now. You are history. Sometimes you hear the word her story, his story, her story. What is your story? That is what this summit is all about. You know, on yesterday, we talked about what you're looking for is looking for you. What are you looking for today? What is the thing that drives you to wake up and believe in what you do as it is the possibility of greatness? And so I want to sum up this talk with why. Many people will say that word, why. I wrote a book called The Who, What, When, Where, Why, How and Why book. And it talks about your operating system. How do you operate? It talks about your mindset. What is your mindset? What mind shift do you need? What is your mind print? And I want to go into that just for a moment, because I want you to get my book and read the book so that you can begin to look at what is your why. Why do you wake up this morning? Why did you get an opportunity to wake up this morning? And what are you going to do with the time that you're given? What does Black culture mean to you? Really, what does culture mean to you? You know, we can talk about innovation. We can talk about resistance. We can talk about excellence. We can talk about all of these things, but we're really talking about you. That's what the why is. What is your mindset this morning? Who set your mind? We want you to shift your mind today and begin to believe in your talents, believe in your truth, and to begin to fashion the story that's going to propel you to your greatness. When you think about your mind print, in my book, I talk about your subconscious mind, which is your gray print. And that gray print is what really moves you, because your subconscious mind doesn't have a filter, which means that anything that you put in there, in other words, what you think about all the time is who you are. And then, of course, it's your red print, which is the blood that courses through your veins. In other words, how you show up. You know, some people show up in suit and ties. Some people show up in jerseys. Some people show up in t-shirts. Some people show up in caps, hats. But how do you show up? That is your red print. But your blueprint is what's in your industry. What does your industry represent? I want you to look at that today. If you're a singer, a poet, if you are a business owner, think about who are the top 3 in your business? Who are the top 3 in your area? And I want you to go out and research them to see what they're doing. Because many times we fall prey to saying, I want to do it my way. And we spend ourselves on a cycle of making mistakes in business, making mistakes in singing, making mistakes that cost us years of our lives. Our green print, this is the print where we earn money. I didn't say make money. I said earn money. What is it in your industry that you do so well that you earn money from it? I want you to think about it, producers. I want you to think about it, singers and dancers. I want you to think about it, business owners. What is it that you do? Many times people say how you show up at any time is who you are. So I want you to think about your green print. But as you think about your green print, please think about your black print, which is your retirement, your legacy, your exit strategy. I know you may say, well, I'm just getting started. I don't want to think about my exit strategy. I don't want to think about my legacy. I don't want to think about my retirement. But in the art of war, it is not about your beginning. It's about your ending. So when you discover what you want your end to look like, then you're able to look at how to plan not only your beginning, but your journey. That's the part that many people miss. How are you going to leave your legacy when you're not thinking about what legacy is? Retirement doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to retire from what you do. It means that you may retire from what you're doing and start a new, exciting journey. Your exit strategy. All businesses are built to be sold. All dreams are built to be sold. But the key is that as one dream is sold, another dream is propelled. So I'm going to leave you with these principles. And I want you to think about these principles, and you can write these principles down if you like. Number 1 principle is to think. And before I go down these principles, I would like to give my great-grandfather his credit, Henry Stanser, who let the groundwork for these principles for me to live on and for me to share with the world. I want to make sure I give honor to the shoulders that I stand on, that you stand on, that we all stand on. He would always say the number 1 principle is to think. Before you do anything, it's to think. He said number 2 was sales. And many people would say, I'm not a salesman, but you're selling us today on who you are by showing up. And he said, everything must be sold. He said, number 3 is research. I was at a meeting on yesterday, and a young lady asked me a question. She said, who are you? I said, Eric Kelly III. And I said, you can Google me. I am Googleable, which means that it was just as important for me to say who I was as it was important for me to say how you can find out information about me. So you gotta always be researching. Number 4, which is very important, is the energy that you share. How much energy do you have in what you do? Energy is money. Number 5, attitude. Do you have a positive attitude every day? Does your attitude flip and flop? Ask yourself why. Attitude is very, very important. Now, as we move past the last few principles, one of the most important principles is number 6 is listening. Sometimes I say to people, the reason people don't hear what you say, what you sing, what you write is because they're too busy listening to what they're thinking. They can't hear you because they're too busy listening to what they're thinking. So number 6 is listening. Listening is so important. If you want to sell today, you can't sell unless you listen to the person to see, in fact, if they want what you have to share. So listening is so important. And then, of course, belief. We can talk all day, but if we don't talk about what I believe, not what you believe, but what I believe. As I say to people each and every day, your story, your empowerment, your inspiration, your everything was born for your audience to hear. And so when you don't express yourself, share your wisdom, share your ability, then you're cheating the world. You're not giving those people who are sitting around your tribe who are waiting to hear what you have to say. Now, the next one is what changes us all, and that's vision. My great-grandfather said, if you put the vision first, the money will come. Vision is key. What is your vision? Not just for you, but what is your vision for your life? They're two different things. Your life, not my life, but what is the vision for your life? Many times we veer off from the vision because we begin to live somebody else's journey. So we have to begin to understand, if you put vision first, you never have to worry about the money. My great-grandfather said that many people talk about you can't lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. And my great-grandfather would say that is the biggest lie of all times. He said, it sounds good. It's a cute story. But the truth is, if you lead a horse to water and you take a handful of salt and you put it in his mouth, he's going to drink the water until he's tired, which means that you have to be the salt of your audience. No longer can you think that I am the thing. No, it's not you. You are the water. Today, ask yourself, are you the horse that's being led to the water? Are you the person that's riding the horse? Are you the person that's giving the salt? Today, I want you to think about yourself as the salt. Now, there are 2 other pieces that I want you to write down, of course, and remember. Number 1 is duplication. How do you duplicate what you're doing? If you think about the greatest businesses in the world, and we can talk about the Microsofts, we can talk about the Amazons, we can talk about any business, they duplicated their services. You are one. What and how do you duplicate yourself for wealth? We have to get out of the poverty mindset of we got to do everything and get into the duplicating mindset. I'll give you just a classic example. If you have an Android phone, if you have an iPhone, on those phones you have apps. And those apps are used to run what you need to run so you can be productive. But how many phones are there? How many phones? Those phones are duplicated all over the world. Amazon, the great company that sends you products and services, The only way that they're able to be wealthy is they're able to duplicate their services. And now, for all of you who have listened to an old man speak, I'm going to give you the one that changes lives, that busts bubbles, that transforms people. The number one is execution. If you don't execute, it don't happen. If you don't understand what execution is about, it doesn't happen. Remember, while you're working on your dream, there is 8 billion people working on their dreams. And the only difference between them and you is execution. I talk about collaboration because collaboration is key. I talk about networks because networks are key. But having the greatest networks in the world, having the greatest collaborations of the world, having all the money in the world without execution, your greatness will not stand. And with that said, I always say genius is common. I'll see you on the other side. But I want you to understand that today is your day. There's a reason that you're here. And only you can change your destiny, your legacy. Only you can believe in what you believe. But while you're believing in it, if you don't execute any of the things that we're talking about this week, guess what? You're going to be the same person that you woke up this morning with. You're going to be the same person you've been for the last 20 years, the last 10 years, the last 5 years, the last 60 years. I want you to understand that Fave Unite TV is not just here to be here. Fave Unite TV is here for your existence, to your power and your greatness. Because at the end of the day, how can you get where you want to go if you're not visible? And I'm going to say it like I said yesterday. Visibility is the power of riches. If you don't exist, if nobody knows who you are or what you bring to the table, then you are not relevant. Let's all be relevant today. Let's understand that there's a reason for us being here. Take the time out, sign up to be a part of this movement. And of course, I can't leave here without saying, make sure if you are in the chat, if you are on this journey, or as I said before, this movement, I want you to take a moment, and I want you to take a moment and just be silent in your space and realize the greatest thing that was given to us today was you. And with that being said, I'm going to turn it over to my partner, my friend, my girl. Thank you for the claps. I see somebody clapping. Thank you for the claps. But thank you more importantly for being here and allowing me to talk to everybody today. I may not be here all day, but I want you to know you can hear my voice as I had to speak on yesterday. And I spoke to a lot of young people and I said to them, your greatest thing that you have right now is time. Your greatest thing you have right now is time. And for those who didn't show up yesterday, it doesn't matter. You're here today. Let's make it happen. Think about it for a moment. The average age on the planet is 30 years old, but the average age in Africa is 17. So whatever you're doing, wherever you're going, understand that the time is now to create your greatness. The time is now. And for those who like to get in contact with the Black Business Network, the Black Business Olympics, which starts tomorrow, I'm so excited. I'm going to try to rest my voice the rest of the day. I'm so excited. I'm ready to go. You see me get ready to get in. I'm ready to get in. It's called Attitude and Energy. We start tomorrow. 7 days, 145 speakers to over 200 countries. Be there. And I want to say to my friend, Bakeka Blakemore, Gretchen,
Oh,
Bakeka
no, he didn't.
I want to say thank you so
Thank
very
you.
much for sharing your stage, sharing your light. Remember, we're all in show business, but the key is not to just be the show. The key is to be the business, because the business is where the money is. Again, thank you for allowing me to share your light, as your light is so bright today. And for all of you that are in the room, take some time out, get you a diary, start your diary today and write your journey out as you live it. Because when you get older and in your prime time, you'll be able to look back and see all the greatness, all the journey. And that book that you write from this day forward may be the book that changes somebody's life forever.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Kelly. Thank you so much. And if you would, tell us the name of your book, put that in the chat. We've got people who are interested. They want to know again how to get access to that amazing information. And what's the title of your book again?
The Who, What, When, Where, and How book. It's called the I.O. System. You can get my book by emailing me at erickelly45@gmail.com.
erickelly45@gmail.com. You all heard it. Thank you so much, Dr. Kelly. Yes.
And for those who'd like to get in contact with my office to speak, to be a moderator, or to talk about your company, you can dial 919-308-9090 USA. And with that says, as I always say, what you're looking for is looking for you. And as my son would say, what you're looking for is what you get. Thank you again. Thank you again. And thank you again. And to Dr. Enolia Harris Pedro, I want to introduce her. I want to say good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome. Here we have the electrifying, the beautiful, the wonderful. Yes, indeed, our thought leader. Yes, she's here live, all the way from another part of the country. Dr.
The world, yes.
Enolia Harris Pedro, give them the noise.
Thank you, Dr. Kelly. I'm so appreciative. And you, what did you do? Raise the bar on purpose to make sure that was a tough act to follow. I love that. You know, and I just want to say how I appreciate you. And you know what? I'm going to follow up and just bouquet all of you. I want to just say thank you. Who is Dr. Enolia Harris Pedro, first of all? I am a little bit of everything. I am an elder, and you understand what that means coming from Africa. I am an initiated elder from the Ojibwe Nation here in North America, not here, but in North America. And I am also initiated by the Ovumbundu, okay, for being presented. So you understand what that means, and I am an elder. I am also an entrepreneur, and I get to work with phenomenal people like Bukeka Blakemore, Dr. Kelly, Christina Konya. I mean, I'm just thrilled. And of course, I can't forget Eugene. I'm sorry, Eugene and Terry, and just all these phenomenal people. And Ikanda, Samuel, I just met and am learning about, and really excited about that also. So I am a person that does a little bit of everything. I am just as strong in my math and my sciences, graduating with a degree in mathematics and MBA, and I was top of my class with a 4.0, but I am just as strong in the arts, okay, where I dance in the dance company, Spectrum in Motion, where I performed in my high school play. I was the lead actor, and I had the opportunity of going either direction, but what I actually did is I went the spiritual direction. And what I do is I love to lift and elevate others, because your success is my success. And this is what we're going to talk about. One of the things that I'd like to capitalize that Dr. Kelly expressed so eloquently is hold a vision, or somebody else will be having you live that vision. There is a sentence that I say all the time: dream a beautiful dream or you will be dreamt. And I'm going to say it again: dream a beautiful dream or you will be dreamt, which means that if you don't hold a vision for yourself, where life becomes a walk to that vision, you will live your life fulfilling what people perceive you to be. I'm going to say it again. If you don't hold a vision for yourself and make your life a walk to that vision, you will live your complete life trying to fulfill what others perceive you to be. We all have a gift. We capitalize on that gift. We evolve in that gift. We bring that gift as our gift to bear to make it what we do in life. And it is of utmost importance how you present that gift. Now, what do I mean by presentation? I mean by bringing the best version of yourself in your gift. If your gift is singing, then being a heck of a singer. If your gift is arranging things for the singer to be able to produce that singer, then be the best at it. Now, you would say, of course I'm going to be the best at it. But what I'm going to talk to you is about how we establish our foundation to be the best that we can be, and to bring the best version of what we bring to bear forward. Because the bottom line is that many of us, we go and we take entrepreneurial classes, we take this class and that class, and we want to be this and we want to be that, but we don't deal with our personal stuff. And what does that mean? That means if you are an insecure person and you're trying to play a part where everybody's supposed to trust you, how can I trust you when you don't even trust yourself? If you are trying to convince somebody to look at you and that you have what it takes, but you don't have the self-confidence enough to know the value of what you bring to the table, how do you expect anyone to have confidence in you? If you are going to speak and you don't even trust the words that you say because you're really, the glass is half empty, and typically you talk negative to yourself, oh, I'm not that good, oh, I'm not that this, I'm not that that. Don't you think that that facade of you trying to say, trust me, I'm confident, is going to come out the way that you think it is? The number one thing that we should be looking at is to never, ever, ever lie to ourselves. Never lie to yourself. If you know that you're not a confident person, then you have to step back, look inside, and work on the confidence of that person. If you don't believe in yourself and trust yourself enough to make key decisions that are going to move you forward, then you need to step back and learn what happened in your life that made you start doubting yourself so much that you don't even trust the decisions that you're making for your own life. And the other thing that I want to talk about is what we say. What you say is powerful. And I'm especially talking to you as younger people, because we love to joke, we love to laugh, we love to make fun of people, we love to, express ourselves, but use that negative connotation all the time, whether we're referring to ourselves, whether we're referring to other people. I'm going to tell you, please let it go. Because your words have a vibration. And your vibration is what the person encounters when they encounter and meet you. And if you don't come with a presence of yourself, if you don't come to express yourself in a way that is consistent about how you are, trust me, people will see through the facade if you're just putting them on for the moment. You have to live your words, be your words, breathe your words, embody your words. And then what happens is that you are an amplification of how you carry yourself. And if you don't choose to do that, if everything is negative, then that's what you're amplifying. You're amplifying that negativity. If you think that you're going to put on a facade and say, I'm just going to get over right at the moment, well, guess what? The only person that you're getting over on is you, because a person that knows the energy, a person that picks up on the energy, I can feel you as soon as you walk through that door. As soon as you walk through that door, I know your confidence and I understand some of your limited beliefs just in how you carry yourself. We need to surround ourselves with like-minded people. If you are aspired to be the top of your craft, why would you hang out with people that would bust on you about doing your craft? Why would you hang out with people who say, oh, that stuff you want to do, oh, that's a joke? Yeah, well, you joke on over and go over there. I'm going to find people that surround me that believe in what I do, because you must believe in yourself before you can get anyone else to believe in you. And if you don't surround yourself with people who believe in you and think the way that you do because they believe in themselves, you will go in circles. And you know what that circle is? Is a dog chasing its tail. And the dog chasing its tail basically says, I believe in myself, but I don't believe in myself inside. You are spiritual beings inhabiting a human body. And the amplification of that energy within you, that energy called Dr. Eric Kelly, that energy called Ms. Bukeka Blakemore, that energy called Derez Douglas, that's grand. Are the pebbles that drop in the water and make the waves out. What are you amplifying when you drop in the water? We did not come here to play small. So you have to recognize the God-given gifts that you have that are grand. Your voice is grand. The way you relate to people is grand. How you see yourself in the mirror is grand. We're not talking about ego grand. We are talking about standing in your truth and authenticity grand. No one can take away my gift. No one. If I am the best singer, I am the best singer. This isn't about ego. It's about when I apply my craft, I do my best at my craft. I'm always open to learning for my craft. I respect the elders in my craft to learn more in my craft. And then I produce the best that I know how to produce within my craft. My glass is never full. I'm always willing to learn. But I execute at a level that is always the best of my ability. I speak at a level that is always the best of my ability. I engage and I navigate the waters that is always at the best of my ability in integrity. And I'm going to amplify in integrity. Because there is always someone who wants to sell you short. There's always someone who wants to manipulate the game. There's always someone who wants to make you feel small. And you have to recognize, why would someone want to make you small when you know what you have to bear is grand? And the importance of identifying that is the importance of navigating past hidden agendas that aren't conducive to who you are or that align with your values. You have to recognize these people around you. You have to recognize them in even the people who are making offers to you. You have to recognize, and you cannot be afraid to say no. No, that doesn't align for me. No, it's not resonating with me. We have an inside confirmation, understanding. It's called that first little inner voice, as well as our connection to God. That basically says, yeah, this is great, this is perfect. Or that connection to God says, well, something's not right. I don't trust it. You have to trust yourself to know when you're hearing something's not right, I don't trust it, to be strong enough to walk away. If you are coming up in a series or an environment that isn't conducive to supporting your craft, then the bottom line is that as you grow and as you surpass that situation or circumstance, and you will surpass it, because when you come grand, no one can hold you back, no matter what they try to do. When it's time for you to surpass that circumstance, don't turn around and recreate it for the ones coming up behind you. Don't recreate something that you hated, that you didn't like, for the ones behind you. This is important. That limited belief systems are put in place to prevent us from being the grand that we are. Look in the mirror and look at your limited beliefs. When we talk about getting in our own way, we're talking about the limited beliefs that are put in place that stop us from excelling. And this is very important, because my brother, if I share with him, we could be strong together, but our limited beliefs would say, oh no, it's got to be all mine, and I got to be greedy about this. My sister might have all of the talent in the world, and if we partner together, we'd be grand, but oh, she's a woman, I can't do that. I can't be grand, it has to be somebody else. These are the limited beliefs. The greatest strategic plan that people put in place was to divide and conquer. How do we divide and conquer? We highlight everyone's differences. How do we highlight everyone's differences? We say that this particular difference doesn't measure up. When the bottom line is, if you don't like something and you want to change the industry and you want to change the paradigm, you can't do it alone. You need to do it with people. And if you need to do it with people, you do it in collaboration. If you need to do it in collaborations, guess what you have to get rid of? You have to get rid of that stuff, that limited belief that it's got to be all mine. If you don't like something, or if something is not present for you to pursue in your career, in your gift, in what you're trying to accomplish, then get a group of you together and create your own framework. Make it for yourself. Don't run around just looking for boxes. Oh, I don't fit in this box, I gotta go fit in another one. Oh, that box it's kind of what I want. No, it doesn't really fit, I gotta fit in this one. No, get 4 or 5 of you together and create your framework. And then excel in your own framework and be the person that lays the path for the new paradigm. As people in the trade, as people coming up, you are at the highest, or the most, what I want to say is the genre of entertainment industry is probably has the highest rate of rejection. And with the highest rate of rejection, you have to be strong. You have to know yourself, know thyself. And you have to be able to stand strong in your words. And you have to, no matter what anyone tells you about how you're not enough, this, you're not enough, that, you don't have this, you don't have that. You can't start believing that you're not enough and you don't have. What it is that you are not aligned. And you have to search until you are aligned. And if you can't seem to find it, the alignment where you're looking, then create the alignment. These are important pieces. I work with self-mastery. I work with helping you to create a strong foundation. Remember that we are the bridge. You are the future. As an elder, I can share the information. I can pass it on to you. But it's up to you and what you choose to do with that information that makes the difference in the world. It's not about the fact that you fall down. You can fall down many, many times. It's how you pick yourself up and what you do from that point on. Don't be afraid of the rejection. Don't be afraid to knock on the door. Hold yourself up high, because you did not come here to play small. You came here to be grand. Be big, be grand, and be strong in the light that you are and the value that you bring to the world as an individual and as a collective. And don't leave it at that.
Wow, thank you. She brung it again, people. She did. Oh my gosh. I have goosebumps. I mean, the notes, hold a vision for yourself. Um, you are grand. And oh my gosh, thank you so much, Dr. Nolia. Those words are just reverberating on the chats. Everybody is once again, thank you so very much. So just remember all of those words. You are grand. You are here for a purpose. We are here in community together to rise above, and that just incredibly wonderful. Thank you so much. Thank you. Woo, day two. And I'm gonna she doesn't have to come off mic, but I'm going to say welcome to Idon Cassette, because I could not say her name yesterday, but I can today. Thank you so much for being here again today. And I just want to give a shout out to the people that are going to be coming up here as well. Um, we have Eugene Blakemore that's going to be showing up, going to be talking to us in a little bit. And we also have some words from obviously Ikonde Samuel, who is the head of Kingdom Talent Arena. But I have someone very, very special that I want to introduce to you. Folks, make sure, especially if you are a writer, if you are in film, if you are an actor, but no matter what your creative genre is, you want to listen to every word that is coming up from Ms. Dorez Douglas. And I'm going to tell you a little bit about her. Dorez Douglas is a veteran in the Hollywood film and television industry. She began her career with ABC. I mean, first of all, if you're going to begin a career, right, why not just start at the top, right? Why not just start at the top? And that's exactly what she did. She is the creative genius behind television game shows, animation. She has worked with Oscar winners, and she is an award-winning TV and television producer and film producer herself. I could go on and on, but Dorez Douglas, among everything, she has a heart of gold. And what she knows is that she has in-depth knowledge that she is willing to share. So, two things that you're going to find about her on Fave Unite TV. You're going to find a film that she produced called Voices. And Voices was directed by her directing partner, Willie D. Burton. who is a two-time Oscar winner. And it stars Lamont Rucker, who is in several of major productions such as Greenleaf and the Why Did I Get Married franchise. She is also doing a master class on Fave Unite TV, 2 hours of information that you will not get anywhere else. You won't get anywhere else. And she also is someone who wants to make sure that generations after generation have information that's going to help them in starting their careers. So I could go on, but I'm going to turn it over to the incomparable and the amazing Dorez Douglas.
Hey there, Bukeka and everyone. Oh boy, this is the kind of, excuse me, I got morning voice. This is the kind of event, what you're doing right now at Fave Unite TV is the kind of event I've been waiting for 30 years. And so there is so much information that I want to give you guys. But what I want to do first is I want to tell you one of the things that I did to get into the industry. And this, I did start out big, as Bukeka said. I did have a deal with ABC. But just before that happened, I had been looking around trying to figure out how to become a producer. And my interest in that came about because I worked on a game show in the office, in the production office. That's what they call the development side of the business. And I was working there. And when you work in development, you don't get to go to the set. So I never would get to go to the set. But one day, the executive producer said, I need some help over at the set. Who's willing to do it? And so I volunteered. And he took us to the set. That was my first time seeing an actual professional union set. And it was also my first time seeing it from the behind the scenes, because I had done some acting, so I knew about that part. But I'd never worked behind the camera, or behind the scenes, as we say. And so I worked behind the scenes, helping him with what he needed done. And most of it was just physical labor. But what ended up happening was I started watching what he was doing as the executive producer. And I started realizing that's what I wanted to do. For number one, I like being the boss, but also I like the freedom you have. You're not worried about how you're looking, and you don't have to worry about if you gain a few pounds, like actors do. And so I realized that was for me, but I didn't know how to get started. So what I did, and this is why I'm going to share with you later on about networking. This is why networking is so important, because I had been networking and a lady told me that there was a producer's orientation class that was being held at a local cable company. And so I was like, what? And I said, how much does it cost? And she said, I don't think it costs anything. So I called around to some cable companies and I found one. And they said, well, here's the nights when we do it, when we have the class, but we have an orientation first. And he said, so you should come to that. And that's where you'll learn everything that's required in order for you to take the producer's class. So I went over there. They started talking about all the different opportunities they had. And then they got to the producer's orientation. And they said, well, look, the way we do this is we want you to get hands-on experience. So what we're going to do is we're going to allow you to create your own show. We're going to give you the equipment. And then all you have to do is shoot the show. We have a studio here. We'll let you use the studio. And they said, but if it's going to be something like, outdoors on the street type of show, you can do that too. They said, you don't have to use the studio, but if you want to, it's here for you. So they had everything that I needed, and the equipment only cost, now this was over 30 years ago, the equipment only cost me $17. Now, if you can't afford to pay $17, then you don't need to be trying to do that. But I went ahead and I got in there and I said, I'm going to come up with a show. Now, this is the funny thing about that. I've learned over the years, when you're ready, then the universe gets ready and it'll open doors for you you can't even imagine. And this is what happened. This is how I got to ABC. I was taking the class, I took the producer's orientation class. And then a couple of days later, I had an interview with a lady who was looking for an executive assistant. So I go over there to her. She worked at Disney. So I went over there, had the interview. We get to the end of the interview, and she says, you know, I think you're overqualified for this job. Oh my, I was heartbroken. I'm not even gonna lie, I ain't gonna try to pretend. I was upset. But something told me, don't get, you know, so upset that you let her see that you're upset, or, you know, don't say anything that you're going to regret later. So I was getting ready to go. I thought the interview was over. So I got ready to stand up, and she said, she was looking at my resume while I was doing that. She said, what is this on your resume about volunteer work that you were doing at the library? And I said, oh, that's just something I do when I have free time. I said, I like to read stories to children. And she said, really? She said, what kind of stories? And I said, all kinds. I said, but I prefer to try to find Black stories or stories from Africa, you know, folk tales, things like that. So she said, this is where God comes in. Without me knowing why I was there, other than for the interview, she said to me, I know some people over at ABC, and they're looking for a show for children. She said they have a weekend special, and we want to get you to do a story for us, get some stories together. And she says, I'll work with you, and we'll go over to ABC and we'll pitch it. So I'm going to cut to the chase because I know we are on limited time here. What ended up happening was she ended up getting together with me, because by this time I had gone to the library and I found a bunch of stories that I thought she might like. And I went to her house. We had a meeting. I pitched the different stories, and she liked one of them and way better than the others. So she said, look, I tell you what, let's pick 3 out of the ones you brought me. She said, let's save the one that we like the most for last. So we go over to ABC, we pitch the stories, and the next thing I know, we had a deal. So I wanted to cut to the chase so you would know that is actually how I became a producer. But if I hadn't gone to the cable company and learned how to do it, I wouldn't have a clue, you know, what to do when I did get this big opportunity. So don't frown about having to start small. It's better to start small if that leads you to your goal of doing something on a bigger scale. So now what I want to get to is I want to get to the advice that I have for you guys as filmmakers. And these are things that I wish someone had told me. And so I'm going to share it with you, because this is the kind of information that most of the time you won't be able to get. And the reason is because most of the people who are really successful in this business, they're working so hard every day on their own projects. They don't have time for you. And that's why I try to discourage people from trying to get in touch with celebrities. You know, everybody wants to get in touch with, you know, Tyler Perry or Ava DuVernay or Oprah or whoever it is. We just think, oh, if they could see my talents, you know, if they could read my script, they would, you know, give me a deal. They want to make this movie. Let me tell you, they got so many projects lined up. In fact, my producing partner knows Ava DuVernay, and he said he pitched her some projects we were doing, and asked if she would like to be involved in any of them. And she said, Willie, I really love a couple of the projects you pitched. And she said, but I'm booked up for the next 3 years. I think she said something like 3 or 4 years. So anyway, forget that idea. And this is what you're going to do if you're serious about this business. And I want you guys, if you don't have some paper or pen, or I know this is being recorded, so maybe that'll help you. But if you can write these notes down or put them in your phone, here we go. I'm going to go fast. So if you missed anything, you can get my book. I have a book called How to Make a Low Budget Short Film. So first thing is, if you're serious about filmmaking, you want to do a short film. You can do it very cheaply. If you read my book, it tells you step by step how to do it, how to get the money, everything. Now, next thing is you need to be networking. And when I say networking, I don't mean going to a bunch of events, running around giving people your card and telling them what you do and telling them you're available to be hired and all. No, what you're going to do is you're going to get as many cards as you can from different people that you feel would be beneficial to you, but also you want to meet people who are on your level, your peers, people who are also struggling or who are also trying to accomplish something. Because as Enola told you guys before me, you need help in doing what you're doing and you can't do it alone. So that's the next thing. When you network, and you might need to hire me or do a consultation call for me to give you the details how to network, because there is a formula to it and you need to know that. Now, if you want to be a writer, please do not write a bunch of different screenplays that are no good. Take your time. Don't try to do too many. Don't try to go too fast. Learn the skill first. Take a class. If you haven't taken one, you need to take one, because there's a difference in writing for TV and a difference in writing for film. You need to know that, and you need to understand the formula. The next thing is you need to check in your city, country, wherever, and find out if there's a film commission or a film office. Now, the reason for this is two reasons. One is because you want to get registered with them if you can, depending on what their requirements are for you to register. You want to find out how to register. If you're a crew person, they usually have a database full of crew people's information, and you want to get on that list or in that database. The other thing you want to do, if you're an actor, same thing. You should start as a background actor first, especially if you don't have any experience. And they usually keep a database of those as well, background actors. You can get signed up with them, and then that way you will be able to get the information when productions are coming to your area. You'll be able to be notified that they're looking for background actors and that you might fit. And then the other thing you want to do is, if you are on social media, which I'm sure most of you are or should be, you want to start building your social media, because let me tell you something, especially as an actor or writer, they always, the studios and networks and so forth, they always want to know if you are, let me say it this way, they want to vet you, but they also want to know how important you view social media. So they want you to have a lot of followers as best you can, because the way they look at it is that's who your audience is going to be. Now, the other thing about making a short film, and this is going to be one of my final tips, last two tips, and then I'm done. You want to try to do a short film that doesn't require a lot of actors, doesn't require a lot of locations. Because if you focus too much on trying to impress people, and I know that's what we think we're doing. We're like, oh yeah, this is going to be shot in another country and we're going to have 50 actors. No, what you need to do is try to find one location that you can use for different numbers of scenes. So let's say you have a 10-minute film that you want to make. That means it's going to be about 10 written pages. So one page equals a minute of film time. So think of it that way. So if you're doing a 10-minute film, try to think of this before you start writing your idea. Try to figure out what kind of story can I tell and not need a lot of locations. I could do it in one location. If that one location has a yard, I can use that for one scene. If it has a pool, I can use that for a different scene. I can use different rooms inside the house for different scenes. Nobody's going to know where you are anyway. All you're going to do is take one establishing shot And that's going to set the area. In other words, if it's in the country, if it's in the city, wherever it is, you take that establishing shot, we call it, which is far back. You have the camera far back so that you can see the neighborhood itself or the city. And then once you've done that, everything else is going to be shot pretty much on interiors, unless you're going to be using like the backyard or pool or whatever. So if you read my book, How to Make a Low Budget Short Film, that will tell you step by step. And if you need any more information, Bukeka has all my contact info so that you can book a call and I can, answer your questions more specifically. Thank you so much for listening and watching.
Wow. I'm telling you, this is so very important, because one thing that we know is that everybody has a story, and what everybody on here just learned how to do is to start to tell that story through the power of creating your own film. Your own short film. So you can select whatever topic you want. It can be about you. It can be about your neighborhood. It can be about your family, or things going on in your life, and begin. She just gave you the blueprint for how to start to be a filmmaker. So whether you're a musician or whether you're, whatever brings you to this platform, Derez just told you the beginning steps on how to even document what you are as a musician. Get out
Yes.
your phone. You've got a great camera on that phone. You've got, and even though I've only been to the continent one time, I know that there is beautiful vistas, beautiful areas, mountains, cities, and so forth. You've got a backdrop, that that people spend millions of dollars to try to create. So I thank you so much, Derez Douglas, for being here, and I hope you can stick around for just the few more presentations that are left. Um, Dr. Enolia put her books in the chat: 7 Principles of Self Mastery, and Finding Your Sovereign Voice. Again, we've got Derez Douglas's book, How to Make a Low Budget Short Film. She also has the book on careers in film and how to win an Oscar. So want to make sure that you, if you have more, request more information from her, I do have that contact information. I would be happy to make sure that you get that. And if you want to put in the chat, that you're wanting any of that information, please let us know. So thank you, Derez Douglas, for being here today.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Well, gosh, can you guys believe it? We've got another amazing presenter. I happen to know him very well. He is Mr. Eugene Blakemore. He is the founder of Silly Money Records, and I love that name. Right? Just have like this. If we're gonna have money, just to make it be silly money, right? And also, he is the co-founder of Fave Unite TV. I gladly turn the mic over to Mr. Eugene Blakemore.
Well, thank you so much, Bukeka. I really appreciate that. I definitely want to thank God first. That's number one, because without him, it's no us, 100%. And then also, I want to thank you, my wife, for pretty much doing an amazing job on working in Fave Unite, and while I'm in the background taking care of the business. And I do appreciate you, the team that's working on Fave Unite, Terry Lewis, Enolia, Dr. Enolia Harris, Pedro. I have to make sure I say that right. Also, all the amazing speakers in front of me, Dr. Eric Kelly, awesome speech. Also, the young lady who spoke before, who spoke the first time, her name was Maya Boy, and then also Felicia Yee. We want to thank all you guys, and also Derez Douglas, who talked about a phenomenal way of being in the film business and being a producer. That is awesome on that part. So, well, the first thing I just want to say is my name is Eugene Blakemore Jr. I am the CEO and co-founder of Silly Money Records. It was founded in 2009. We started Silly Money Records as a company to be able to put artists out who was not in a mainstream situation where we can develop them and get them into major labels. So at that particular time, when I did start the company, I actually moved from Chicago here in Kansas, and I lived in Chicago for over 39 years. I also was a production person where I owned a production company called A Positive Image. As you see, BMP was part of Black Males Positive, what I created back then in that particular time frame of the early years of my stage of getting into the music business. So pretty much, I'm pretty well equipped in the background of music production. I promoted concerts when I was in my early 20s. Also, now as I speak today, where I, am a co-founder of Fave Unite TV, which is a culture for Black experience and Black storytelling. One of the most important parts is that the Black Experience Summit is something, is a vision for everybody. And like Dr. Eric Kelly say, a vision, a legacy that we have to carry on for our families in the future. So these things are very, very important because working together as a culture, no matter if we're here in the United States, in Africa, or around the world, Black business is the #1 business in the world right now. If you want to look it up, you can find that. Also, we have to build our own Wikipedia, which we know we have Black Wikipedia. These things are something important to our legacy so people can go back and see the things in the archives, like Dr. Kelly said, that we can see for the future of our other generations to come to see that part. Fave Unite TV is here for a reason. I just want to say that part because it's something that was generated through God. And I don't create anything. I let God do all the talk. I might not be the greatest speaker. I might not be the greatest producer, but I also let God create that part to make me the greatest speaker or the greatest producer. Because like I stated in the beginning, without him is no us. His presence is #1 in our future as a culture. So I would like to say that. Now, getting into the music business, if that's something that you acquired, that you got a taste for, being a producer, a writer, also an artist. You want to just make sure you own everything. And I want to talk about ownership. If we don't have no ownership as a culture, how can we say that it's ours? Okay. Ownership for copyrights, ownership for trademark. Ownership is important in this business or in any kind of business, because if you don't have no ownership, no license or anything, then how can you proceed to say it's yours? So that's #1. Or you can pass it on to your family. That's the next step there, because they're the ones that's going to inherit what you have, and they're the ones that's going to have to continue the legacy. And a lot of times in our culture, we don't pretty much look at that part. We don't leave legacy. We don't leave wealth to our families. The Caucasian families leave wealth. They do trust. They do things like that. They leave that back to their families so they can not have to struggle down the line to be able to create wealth going forward. So I look at all of these things, even though if my path don't show tons of wealth for my family, at least I created businesses like Fave Unite TV, also Silly Money Records, for them to fall back on if that's something they want to continue to create and build down the line. These are the things that I want to state to everyone on this meeting today, that you must build legacy for your whole entire family. I think as a culture, we forget that we got grandchildren. Okay, I have grandchildren. You have grandchildren. Bukeka have grandchildren. So all of them gonna wake up every morning and say, "Wow, let me go back to this YouTube page and see my grandfather, my grandmother talking about Fave Unite TV, and Dr. Kelly talking about Black Expo, Anolia talking about Woobology, Dorez talking about being a film producer, KTA talking about building talent for the kingdom." These are things that they're going to be able to go back to the archives and look at. So we have to be able to be in that positive state of mind to say that we're here for a reason, and it's already done. If you put it in my faith of mine, it's already done. Whatever is happening is already done next year. Uh, uh, we started out with Fave Unite. It's an idea that came up sitting down with Bukeka and her son Delbert Shows came up with the name of the company. So these are things that, and he's not on the call today, but these are things because he's traveling. But these are things that we created all together, and we just continue to go forward. Even though we had struggles all in the beginning, we kept going, and we're still going. So that's the most important part, that you never give up on what you're doing. You got to have a belief system every day, because in the belief system is God, number one, because that is the only belief system that you can go by. Because when you wake up and you breathe, He's gonna wake you up every day, and if you can't breathe, then you're not existing. Okay, so that is one of the most important things there, and also just going back to creating wealth for our families. We look at ownership, like I'm gonna go back to, and we don't put forward the effort to continue to build and collaborate with each other as a culture to build that wealth for all our families. And I think it's something that we was programmed in the past by not to help each other or want to work with each other. The false narratives about what how other people live and what they live like, or the also the things that other people will say, do I belong here? Can I be successful here? And as a Black person, and that's number one. Yeah, I can be successful only in my mind and my belief, and letting God work that out. And that's the only way. And in my presence of my mindset, I see. Okay. I just wanted to tell y'all that Bukeke and I have, done a lot to keep this going as a legacy for everyone. This is just not for me. This is not for her. This is for all of you guys. This is building a legacy for here and people in Africa and other countries. And it's just not just only Africa. We want to unite. Fave Unite mean unite. We want to unite everyone together to be able to be successful. Fave Unite should be the go-to place to go to bring your content to. BET didn't start just being BET. They started, somebody had to create it in the basement or sitting down on the couch, just like Fave Unite was created. They created it that way, and that's how things are created, where people build wealth, but they continue, they never stop. So I just want to put that out here. But I wanted to say one thing also before I go. I wrote a thing called it's called My Black, and I just want to say it to y'all real quick. It's my black is my flavor, my black is my savior. My black brings me favor, but my black is 400 years of slavery. Slavery still today in 2025, the technology way. I guess I'll use my pen and my pad today. With the world moving so fast right now, I guess I'll write with this pen and pad. My pen and pad is so swift, I might as well use my gift. So my gift to all y'all is creating ownership. And ownership means that you build wealth. And that's the most important thing to everyone on this stage today. Being in the music business is not easy. You have to create, you have to do copyrights, you have to perfect your craft in order to be successful, and you gotta put something out there where people can say, well, I really like that song. You know, you may put something out and say, well, I don't think this gonna make it. Oh, I don't think people gonna like it. When you put music out, you let the expression of yourself and let other people say, hey, I love this song, or this song brings me back to when my mom used to sit down in the room and listen to Marvin Gaye or things like that. You know, it brings some type of memory back to you. So putting out music is an expression of yourself, and also letting other people hear as an artist, as yourself as an artist, bring out your expression to them. So I think that music is something that's going to be around forever. It's been around forever. Music and film is something that we have to take a look at because they go hand in hand. You would probably think about in our culture, the Black first rap pretty much soundtrack was Above the Rim with Tupac and Warren G and all them. This was one of the first Black soundtracks on film. And you talking about back in 1993, 94. So look how long it took us to be on soundtracks on film. So, you know, being in this industry and also being in this industry as a culture, we just got to build on what we can continue to build on to make it successful. You know, everybody, you know, when you wake up in the morning or you go to school every day, your mama say, well, why don't you want to be a lawyer? Or why don't you want to be a doctor? I mean, we have plenty of them out there. We need more of them out there. I mean, these are the things. You still can be a doctor, a lawyer, and still be in the music business. You still can be a doctor or a lawyer and still be in the film business. No one said you couldn't do it. I mean, we're a culture of everything. We can do anything that we want to do if we put our minds to it, and that's the most important part. And I just want to go back to talking to people in Nigeria and other countries in Africa. You know, the music industry is the largest in Africa, which is in Nigeria. Okay. The entertainment is estimated generating about $14 billion in 2025 in that region. Okay. Afrobeats is a movement. Okay. Also, it's infused with traditional rhythms from Africa. It highlights contemporary Western sound also. And you got great artists like Wizkid and Burna Boy and things like that, Dave Doe and Remy. And these are artists that are pretty much are at the top of their level. Like they say, when you're at the top, you want to look at it as when you starting out writing music, that you can look at them and see that they at the top. But guess where before they got to the top, they had to start at the bottom. So, but they continued to work on their craft, and that's important. So I just want to say, continue to do what you do to be successful. Success is important. A vision, like Dr. Nolia say, is important. My vision, your vision, our vision is important. So I just want to go out on that note, stating that visions of ownership is important to your legacy. And Bouquet, I'm gonna pass that on to you. And I appreciate everyone on this meeting. And thank y'all.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Eugene Blakemore. Great words. Ownership, ownership, ownership. Make sure you get those things copywritten. Make sure you get things trademarked. Make sure that your name is on what you do, and make sure that everybody knows that your name is on it. Excellent words of advice. Thank you so much for helping us to understand the scope of the industry and how it all ties together. Well, folks, can you believe that we are at the end of this summit? I want to turn it over to Kingdom Talent Arena, and to give words of why this is so important and what we're going to do next.
Thank you very much. Thank you, my friend Eugene. Thank you, all the talent here across Africa. I would do more of thanking on behalf of the talent here present, and thanking all the instructors, like the motivators right now. I've learned a lot. My pen and paper has been beside me, so one can even develop a movie, books, and upon books with the impact statement from all the mentors. So I want to say I appreciate you. We are on the deal of the competition, and I'm happy. In fact, going to the group, you see they are bringing the outcome, the output of this meeting that is what the essence is. So I want to drop this before I go to the next phase of the event, to say that as an African talent, one of such things limiting belief, like Inyola said, is this one we impose on ourselves. No one can do this for you. And I want to say three things. Just think, say, and act. Think around what his vision is, then keep speaking it out, keep sharing it out. So communication is key for the relationship you build in the networking. So why are we here today? Because I actually spoke out with my boss, like I would say client, but my boss, now my friend, she's everything. That is Dr. Christina Konya. It was the sharing, it was the burden, and not just the saying, the action. In fact, I made a post from the Macaulay Talent Hangout, and she said to me on DM, Sam, I like what you are doing in Africa. Would you mind if I give you a link up with my friend, the co-founder of an online team in the US? I said, that is what I've been waiting for. But the question is, what if I never thought through to bring up the impact statement of the Kingdom Talent Arena? What if I do not have that boldness to communicate my intention to her? And what if I never did to start the vision of the Kingdom Talent Arena? So the time is up. I will not be bored to say much. It's a clarion call for all of us to act, and that time is now. And that's one of the inscriptions we have everywhere. Africa is arising. The time is now. So a quick one to the next phase of the project is that we'll be doing the interview and the spotlighting as we enter this week that begins tomorrow. Before the end of the day tomorrow, there's going to be a timetable of the enrollment, because time will not permit us, since we've encroached the time, to tell us how it's going to be. Since we have our domestic community, every information as regards the next phase will be unveiled. So thank you so much, everybody. Thank you, the team. Thank you, partners. Thank you, our mentors today. It's a privilege. So shout out from Kingdom Talent Arena.
Well, thank you so much, Ikande. Thank you for and all of the speakers here. Again, I just want to give another shout out to Terry Lewis, who is the when you go to faveunite.tv.com, and I want you to do that. Go to FAVUNITE.TV.com, like you see here on the um on the backsplash here. That what you this the work that you see there, he has created that. He is able to really have that space to showcase great talent. You're going to see voices on there. The film by Derez Douglas. You're going to see the podcast on stage on Fave Unite TV, and you're gonna and ultimately you're gonna see some of yourselves on Fave Unite TV as well. What I want to make sure of is that you leave with these things. Number one, this My Black Experience challenge is meant to uplift uplift each other. Africa is now. Africa is rising, and Africa is here to to be the voice of good, to be the voice of love, to be the voice of empowerment. And that is what we are here to be for you as well. We are so happy to partner with Kingdom Talent Arena to make sure that that is being stated, that we are here to empower you, inspire you, and help you grow. We know that there is this challenge that has a first, second, and third prize to it. And that is exciting. And what is even more exciting is that you're going to be able to take the information that you got from this summit and put it into practice. What did Dr. Kelly say? You've got to execute. If I might write a great social media post, but if I don't post it on all the social medias, it doesn't get seen. All right. It's limiting beliefs. If you don't believe in yourself, every time you think a thought that is limiting, like I can't do that, I want you to immediately turn that thought around to yes, I can do that. Anytime you have a limiting belief that says, my story's not good enough, I want you to just take that to the opposite direction. My story is great. My story is grand. My story is worthy. My story is powerful. I want you to take every single negative thought that you have and turn it immediately into a positive, powerful thought. Okay, immediately, and then execute on that. What Eugene said, ownership, ownership, ownership. What Dorez said, take the next step, network, take those chances and meet people. And what did she say? I wrote this down, folks. She says, when you're ready, the universe is ready for you. When you're ready, the universe is ready for you. So in the chat, you're going to see how you can connect with Dorez. You already know how to get in touch with Kingdom Talent Arena. You already know how to get in touch with Faith Unite. Make sure that you took down those notes from Mayon, and if you need some public relations, some PR, if you need to get any information regarding what you've seen here, but you may have missed it, go back and look on YouTube where we are streaming live and listen for those great nuggets. I want to thank Victoria. I want to thank Indokaset for allowing me to practice her name for everyone to hear. You might have heard Dr. Kelly mention Gretchen as far as my name is concerned. And I'm just going to tell that really quick. I was born with the name Gretchen Elizabeth. At 5, I wanted to have an African name. I chose the name Bukeka and as my first name, and Bosede as my second name. And that decision at 5 years old. I thought it was 6, but my dad, who's going to be 90, so he must know, right? Said no, it was actually 5. So, Dr. Eric Kelly, if you want to just give us a quick shout out if you're there, great. But you always leave such great words of wisdom coming to a close. I know he's kind of in and out. But in any case, folks, we want to just thank you so much. Did I say your name right? Did I say your name right? Indulgence, did I say your name right? Did I do it? Did I say it right?
Better than yesterday.
Yay! I've been practicing.
Okay, ma'am. Thanks a lot.
Thank you. Thank you so much, everyone. You have a wonderful, wonderful day. And stay connected on My Black Experience Challenge for the next phases. Again, the closing of the entrance is July the 1st, so there's still time for people who want to register and submit their talent. But once July 1st comes around, that's going to be closed, and then we're going to start that process of interviews, showcasing, all of that great stuff. Thank you all so very much for being here. God bless you and have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day. Thank you. Bye-bye.